Let's look at the Mountain West Conference. Top heavy. You got 5 really good teams, kind of all bunched at 11-5 or better. How many bids do you think this league gets? I mean, obviously you got New Mexico and Utah State leading, but you got Colorado State, San Diego State, Boise all right there vying for that 3, 4, 5 spot. Is this league, we know how strong they were last year. How many do you think this league gets?
Well, first, I'll give you the answer, but first let's break down what happened tonight. San Diego State led Utah State by 2, 67-65 with about 3.5 minutes left. San Diego State would have punched its ticket if it had beaten Utah State, but it faltered down the stretch, didn't score in like a 3-minute span late. So San Diego State still has work to do, still on the good side of the cut line, but still has work to do. The other big story, Boise State comes back, beats Nevada by 1 in Reno. Wow. That keeps the Broncos alive. They really, really need that. Boise State plays Utah State.
That's on the heels of beating New Mexico earlier in the week, who's the top team in the regular season in the conference right now. So Boise State got a win at home that they needed, and then that was kind of like a resume protector moment for Boise State at 47 in the net. You can't lose to Nevada, who's 75 in the net, and they beat them. They had to protect the resume. They did. Go ahead.
That's right. So if Boise State can beat Utah State and then grab a couple more wins, Boise State will be right there. So it's definitely. What about
Colorado State? They're in third.
Colorado State has not been able to beat Utah State or New Mexico. Colorado State is definitely several notches below Boise State. So it's probably 3.
Yeah. They're 64 in the net, Colorado State, 1 quad 1 win.
Right.
Contrast that to San Diego State, who's 49 in the net, 4 quad 1 wins. These things matter. Yep. Is the Mountain West a 3-bid league? Is it maybe only a 2-bid league when it's all said and done? Final takes?
3 is going to be the floor. It depends on whether Boise State's able to join San Diego State and make it a 4-bid league. The other thing we have to consider is if San Diego State and Boise State both leave the door open, how's that bracket at the Mountain West tournament going to look? Or let's say San Diego State and Boise State play each other in a semifinal, that could be a double rubble bubble trouble game. You know, the winners in and the losers out. But the San Diego State and Boise State could be on opposite sides of the bracket, so that would influence the bubble calculus going into the Mountain West tournament. So it's probably 3. Boise State has a chance to make it 4. And, of course, with the bubble carnage today, and, in terms of the bubble, SMU, Pitt, and then Steve Forbes and Wake Forest step on a rake again in a big bubble situation against a bad team. Like
Texas
the ACC
loses to South Carolina, winless.
Yeah, Texas lost to South Carolina tonight, who had been winless.
South Carolina.
George Mason, our buddy Bill Rowland was on with us. George Mason needed that game with VCU today. Would have been a quad 1 win. They didn't get it. Earlier today.
Taxes, the A10 cannibalizing itself.
Yeah. So, the bubble took a hit today for all these that, again, we covered it last week that wanted to expand. Look at what we're scraping. I mean, we're scraping around the very, very bare part of the barrel or the can. Very true.
So just to finish that thought, because the ACC bubble and a lot of other bubble teams failed. Now, obviously, Arkansas and Vanderbilt are the huge bubble winners today, but just about everyone else faltered. Because of that, that could open the door for Boise State to make it a 4-bid Mountain West instead of just 3. It's likely 3, but Boise State could make it 4.